What's up, Rasmanites and movie fans alike, and welcome to round 4 of the Cigarette Burns movie reviews. This round's film, of course, is 2007's I Am Legend, starring Will Smith and directed by Francis Lawrence. I Am Legend is the third film adaptation from 2007 based on the Robert Matheson book of the same name. The first adaptation was, of course, 1964's The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price, and then in 1971 there was The Omega Man. The basic plotline of the film is that Will Smith plays Robert Neville, a scientist who believes he is the last remaining man on Earth after a deadly virus has morphed all of humanity into a zombie-like form from this virus, which was originally intended to cure cancer. So, talk about something going wrong in the worst way possible. That's what happens in this post-apocalyptic future set in 2012. Like Civilian Snowman just said in his review right before this one went up, this is a really peculiar movie to review because, just like Jack, it is one that I absolutely love, but it's one that I can see every single flaw in. And for me, there are a few more flaws than there are for most. So let's talk about what does and does not work in this film. What does work is that it's a beautiful mix between the zombie/horror franchise and the science fiction franchise. It really meshes those two worlds, and it doesn't feel like it's overdone or it's trying too hard to succeed. But the thing to me that is really difficult to watch about this film is threefold. One, it's a little bit too heavy on the CGI. As Civilian Snowman has said, there is 1,000 different ways they could have done a zombie movie. You see a lot of guys dressed up like zombies, guys and girls dressed up like zombies, and it works really well because it has that humanistic feel to it. But with I Am Legend, it was a little bit too overly CGI in my opinion. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. The second flaw with the film is that it tries a little bit too hard to be big budgeted. This film and this story should be about human interest and not so much about trying to create a movie that's going to make people go, oh my god, what the heck just happened? What did I just see on screen? So that's the second problem I have with the movie. Along with the fact that in the film, and this falls under the same vein of trying too hard, the film also has at the end a reveal that Robert Neville isn't the last human being on Earth. And just like Jack, I've never read the book, and so I don't know how the book works out from the standpoint. Maybe he was never supposed to be the last human being on Earth. But to me, that was a little bit of a cop-out ending because it just took away the impact of the sacrifice that Robert Neville makes at the end of the film. I'm not going to tell you what that sacrifice is or anything in case you haven't seen the movie, but it sort of lessened the impact there because of that reason. Because to me, the whole film is built around, oh my god, this guy's the last man on Earth, and look at everything he's gone through. Look how much it's affected his brain. You know, he's lost his only companion and his dog. He is talking to mannequins because they are real human beings to him. So you just lose that emotional impact. Which leads me to the third and final flaw that I see in this movie. And I know that a lot of people don't agree with this. I know Jack doesn't because his review just went up. Ray probably doesn't. Most people I talk to don't agree with this standpoint and this stature, but it's something I've always felt. I'm a huge Will Smith fan. I have every single one of his movies. You don't see me holding up the I Am Legend DVD right now because I'm in the process of moving and the majority of my DVDs are packed away. But I own every Will Smith movie that he's ever done, and I'm a big, huge fan of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air television show. So I know how good of an actor that Will Smith can be. And to me, when you stack I Am Legend up against something like The Pursuit of Happiness or 7 Pounds, it doesn't stack up from a Will Smith standpoint. To me, Will Smith did not give 100% of himself in this film. You don't see him diving 100% into it, and he's not as emotionally invested in the character of Robert Neville that he should be. It's supposed to gut at your heart. It's supposed to tear out your soul, the emotion that this man has gone through. And I personally, and again, this is just me, and this is the beauty of the Cigarette Burns, because you're supposed to get different views on a film. To me, I just don't get that emotional impact when I watch this movie. All that being said, however, I Am Legend is a great film because it is a bit of a blockbuster, it is a bit of a CGI, but it's still a very, very watchable film and a very, very enjoyable story, and one that I will be watching probably all my life. Unless there's a better adaptation that comes along that would replace it. So, from the Razman, I Am Legend gets 3 out of 5 stars. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you're not subbed to The Cigarette Burns yet, please do so. And if you like this channel, check out our individual channels as well, because most of us are the same people that we are on our individual channels as we are here on The Burns. And I will see you next time for another The Cigarette Burns movie review, Razman style.